took the leap of faith without knowing whether I can afford the next month's rent, whether I could pay for my bills. People start business because they think that they can earn a lot of money. Trust me, you're not going to make shit in your first couple of years. Rock bottom is a solid foundation to build upon. So why not I kind of find a passion and start building on top of it.
Welcome to GEPic Journeys Season 2 Part 2. Today, we have someone that will influence you to think more about where you are, where you want to be, and how you could become the person you want to be. Without further ado, let me introduce you to our guest, founder and CEO of Code 94 Labs, Nevan Vintusa. Welcome to GEPic Journeys, Nevan.
Pleasure to be here, and it's my first podcast, so looking forward to it.
Of course, let's get right into it. So before we get into your amazing journey of how you started Code 94 Labs, let's start with your childhood. Who is Nevan Vintusa?
Very interesting question. So if you go back to where it began, I'm coming from a very humble family, lower middle class family. My mom used to stay at home. She's like the pillar of the family. And my father used to work around half of his life outside of Sri Lanka. So around early days he was present, but mostly afterwards he was not. But he was also in the technology industry. He was more of a technologist. Before he left Sri Lanka, he used to be the assistant IT director for the disaster management center. So I think when he was in IT, I got exposed to what technology can do, how IT is progressing from a very early stage. With the same, I think, on the other hand, my mother, she didn't like it because from her perspective, someone in technology, someone in IT is someone who looks at the laptop or as the computer 24/7, and they do not have a social life. That's what a technology person or IT person for my mother. So even though my father was in technology and my family as a whole role was more inclined to technology, I didn't even have a computer or laptop till I was, 17, right? So I was not exposed to technology. I was not personally exposed to technology, even though my background was. And also in the early stages, something that I noticed about myself is that I didn't like how things were conventionally done. Like for example, the simplest thing as toys back in the day. If I have a toy, what I would do is the first thing, play with it, break it apart, combine with something else, create something new. Same like if there's something electronic laying around in the house, I would take it, break it apart, put it together, create something new. So even though I was doing that, more of into electronics, very early days, I actually wanted to be a doctor first. And I later on understood that that was not for me. So like I'm telling you different points, but I'll put the picture together down the line, right? So school, I was fairly okay. I was not the brightest student. Of course, I was good at maths and science for some reason. And then later on when O-level finished, which I barely survived, I wanted to be a software engineer. I didn't have the even slightest idea to be a businessman or start a business, start a startup. I had no clue. That was not something I even planned for. I wanted to be a software engineer first. Hence, I actually started doing A-level maths. And that is when I actually joined Mahanama. That is how I got to know you as well. So during that period of, I think, doing mathematics, that is when I think I understood, because I started with maths, physics, chemistry, right? It took me one whole year to understand that chemistry was not my thing. Imagine you are an A-level student, you are doing maths, physics, chemistry, and you took 1 year to figure out chemistry was not your thing. And I was actually pretty lost. And during that period, I was figuring out what should I do next, right? And that is when I actually came across IT as a different subject option that I can do. And that is how I actually got my venture into like IT, actually hands-on practicing like ICT, coding, programming, all of that, right? And while all this is happening, I also started Interact. So the whole point of me joining to a public school was I wanted to kind of experience what Interact is. Like some context before that, I was really like not comfortable with English by that time. I was not the most interactive person out there. I was not a person who had a big network because I'm coming from a very humble family. So Interact allowed me to get exposed to different type of people from different scales. Be in an environment where making mistakes was okay. Like for an example, if I couldn't speak English properly, that was totally fine. It was accepted. Get exposed to what the society offers, like, you know, different programs, what you can actually do out there. So that opened my eye a lot. And then again, going back to the point of my A-level studies, right? So that is when I chose to do IT, and that is the point I actually met the person who made the biggest impact in my life, which is my IT teacher back then, which is Teran Subasinghe. So he helped me cover 2 years of IT A-level syllabus in 1 year. It was partly because of his way of teaching, and also I fell in love with the subject. I think that is where I think everything kind of started. Fell in love with the subject. I got access to a 8 years old broken laptop to kind of play around with. And that my thinking of, or as my trait of not liking how things conventionally done, that is when I looked into what's actually not properly done in the society or as everything around me. I tried to find problems that I could solve with technology. It can be education, it can be anything that I was able to find as a problem. I was able to, or as I pushed myself to self-learn and solve it, right?
Yeah.
And during that period, when I started self-learning around technology, that's when COVID hit, right? And I mean, that is the most interesting part of my life, because suddenly, yes, you are learning about technology, you are learning about IT, you are implementing few, passion projects, I would say. Suddenly school stopped, no classes, nothing, everything went to zero. So I think lost a little bit in terms of, I would say like I fell into a kind of a rock bottom situation by that time, because I was not the best performing, I would say, student as well. So like no access to education, nothing, I would say no vision, no passion to do anything by that time. But something that I figured out very early on, so that is when I was like, I think almost end of 18, 19 years old, I shifted my mind saying, hey, like rock bottom is a solid foundation to build upon. So why not I kind of find a passion and start building on top of it. So I took all those learnings from breaking things, building something new, finding problems to solve, learning things out of the conventional. As I said, I'm not a person who likes the conventional way. Look into the things that the syllabus didn't taught me. And I started self-learning a lot. I think that is kind of the entry towards me gaining a lot of skills, and then that eventually led into starting my business.
It's quite interesting how the little Nevan wanted to be a doctor at one point. And then you pivoted your way into finding yourself hitting rock bottom.
Yeah.
And then sort of taking those necessary steps to become where you want to be, right? So one interesting fact about you is, one impressive fact, I should say, is that you started your own company at the age of 19.
Yeah.
Tell us how you got there. Tell us sort of how you came into that mindset, how it didn't because usually when you're 19, 18, you think of, okay, I should get a job.
Yeah.
I should not do anything on my own. I should get experience first.
Yeah.
How did you come into that position? How did you set your mind to achieve that? Okay. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, sure. So what happened was, as I said, I hit a rock bottom at a period when COVID started. I had no passion, no vision. But even by that time, I was nowhere near starting a business. I was still looking at, hey, how can I be a software engineer? But I knew that the only way that I could do that is if I pass A-levels with flying colors, so that I can get into a public university. Why? Is, as I said, I'm coming from a very humble family, right? So there was no alternative for me. there was no other career path that I could take if not for a public university. I was like, my parents were not in a place that they could afford private education for me, right? So it was like a do or die situation. But 1 year before, like, a few months before, I think A levels, I figured out during the time period I mentioned that I hit rock bottom, that even if I tried hard, I won't be able to get through that, right? So I had to figure out my own path. Right? That is when I, as I said, started self-learning, gaining as much as possible skills. I was still not interested in business, starting anything. I was just looking at what are the other skills that I could acquire. And this is 19 years old me, even not 19, 18. What are the skill set that the society would value? Like, the globe, like, the global market out there would value. It can be from the marketing, it can be from, web development, just software development, communication. So I started gathering all of these different skills. How I did was, during COVID, the Canadian government sponsored for around 500 Sri Lankans to get this access to this platform called Coursera. If you might know, it's a very expensive platform. I got access to 8 months free. I don't know how many courses I did. I did every possible course that I could do, because I didn't plan, okay, this is what I want to do. So I did as much as possible things to figure out what I want to do. And during that process of learning, then I stumbled across like this personality. I think everyone knows Bhanuka Harisnanda, right, who started Search. When I hear his story, there was a lot of points that I could resonate, and how I got to meet him is through Interact, right? Like how I started, kind of why I wanted to get into public school was because I wanted to get into Interact, and that is how I got the door open to meet Bhanuka. His story really resonated with me because he was not someone who really liked the conventional path. He is also someone who didn't do well in A levels, chose to do his own thing. And that day, I think that's the day that kind of clicked everything for me. And I was like, man, this is a pathway that I could really do. I could really go for. And you being a nobody, still you can actually start a business. You don't need to have, you don't need to figure out everything. You can really go for it and then start learning while executing. So I think that is like the mindset shift that happened. And with that, I then went to my kind of, drawing board and figured out, okay, now I have gathered these skills. How can I map it out to start a business? So then only I started. So this is when early stages of COVID, actually. I was at home, mostly free, because there was no access to education or anything. So that is kind of how it started. And then with the same timeline, a lot of shifts happened. So one of the things was, as I said, Tehran Subhasingh was also one of the very influential people in my life very early on. He went, again, he's not someone who really stick to the syllabus. He would go out of the syllabus and try to provide value rather than just teaching the syllabus. One day he did a random free webinar, a free session for his students on what you call Bootstrapped, which is like a thing that you can utilize to kind of code websites, right, like CSS. So during that session, end of that session, he taught us what the basics of Bootstrap is and all that. And end of the session, he came and said, I'll give you a challenge for everyone. Develop a website and present it to me, and I'll give my comments. I may have taken that challenge a little too seriously. I didn't sleep for the next 15 hours and coded a website, an idea that I had in 1 day, less than 1 day. And then took help from my father to kind of host it. But like most of the things, I did it in like 15 hours straight. Showed it to him, he was pretty impressed. He was like, do more of that. I think that was like the push. So like meeting Bhanuka, understanding that you don't need actually to have everything figured out to start a business, and me understanding, hey, like I have a skill in kind of web development. That is kind of the gateway then that led towards starting the business. And then when I started business, I also figured out, okay, something very important is personal branding. Like a lot of people that I follow back in the day, like Gary Vee, even Bhanuka itself, how they led the business is with something called founder-led marketing, or as personal branding around the founder. So even though I had no business, I still started creating content around what I learned, how interested I am in starting a business. I created a LinkedIn account at like 18, 19 to connect with people who I want to connect with. Because I figure out that A-level is not my thing. So I need to find a backup. I was not going to do well in A-levels. I knew that. So I created my own path, right? So that is when, everything fell in place. I kind of then, as I create content, I got connected with few more people who are interested in this. Like back in the day, the CTO that I founded the business with, I found him through LinkedIn. And then the graphic design I started the business with is from Interact. And then the UI UX designer I hired was kind of a old student, was a past student of Mr. Terran. So like these points kind of put together eventually, and then right before A-levels, I spoke to them saying, hey, like I have this idea to start something. I see that you have the skill and drive. I have some skill and drive. We don't know anything. We'll go do it and figure it out. And that is kind of how the opening for the business kind of, or as the idea started. But still, I mean, I am a 19-year-old kid who has no experience in the job market or how corporate works, anything. Who just want to kind of solve problems, who like solve problems and create my own path. And I figured out if I went head first into it, I might figure out, but I failed really fast. So during that period, I took the decision, okay, I probably might need to get some corporate experience. So while I was writing my A-level exam, like during that month, I actually went to one job interview. And I got the first job interview that I went to. I got the job and internship in marketing. So my A-level finished on November 2nd, 2020. November 3rd, 2020, I started my internship. On the same day, I also started the business Code 94 Labs on the same day with 3 people at 8 p.m. We got our call. That is how it started essentially. So it's and also I would say that is like the story behind it. But I would say the primary motive of starting the business was that is COVID time period. Like I would say the gap that I saw to start the business was COVID time period. Everything was digital. Everything had to go digital. Sri Lanka was not ready to go digital. So I saw the gap between, okay, globally everyone is digital, but Sri Lanka is not ready to go digital. How can we bridge that gap? That is like, I would say, the gap that I saw that I need to fill. And the rest of the story fill into that gap. We started Code 94 Labs. I think that is where everything began.
I think that's where all entrepreneurs sort of start out, right? Like filling in a gap, finding a solution to a problem, and you've already done massive things with it. So if you're enjoying the podcast so far, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite moment from today's episode. My next question, Evan. So our CEO at GEPic, Mr. Denham Pereira, in the first episode of GEPic Journeys, he mentioned that it's important that you learn how the corporate works and how a job works and how you can discipline yourself to become a better version of it, and then pivot towards what your passion is, then continue. But what you're saying is quite different to that concept. Tell us how important it is to take that risk and how you see this statement, and do you think it's good to have that sort of experience before starting your own thing? Or do you tell someone to sort of push themselves and start their own thing from the get-go? Or do you think it differs from person to person?
I would say I agree to an extent. Like for an example, as I said, because I did the internship in marketing, that helped me understand what I should not do when I'm building a business, right? You don't know what you don't know, right? So when you're getting exposed to like the corporate world, you might see the gaps, how things are done, what are the mistakes that they make, what are the good things that they do. And that will help you avoid many mistakes that you're going to do, right? So like I wish actually like internship I actually didn't complete. Like about 5 months down the line, I had to make the call. Should I continue the corporate world, or should I continue focusing 100% on my business? I took the latter choice, but reflecting back, I feel if I took a little bit more corporate experience, that would help me avoid a lot of mistakes. Because when you go to a corporate job, people try to people limit themselves into that job, but you don't understand, if you're in a corporate, you are in a pool of resources. You have lot more resources in your hands than you think. So rather than even if you want to start a business while you are in a corporate, try build the network. Try to talk to the finance person and see how finance is done. Try to talk to the HR person and understand how HR is done. Talk to the CEO, talk to the VPs, get connected with them. So you don't understand that you are in a massive kind of gold pot if you are in corporate right now and if you want to start a business. So I believe 100%, if you really want to start something and if you want to avoid making mistakes and if you want to really understand what you should not do, get some corporate experience. That's going to really help you. It helped me. But something to know is that when you go towards corporate, now your risk appetite goes down.
So that's why you said to some extent.
Exactly. So when you're comfortable getting a salary no matter what performance that you do, and if you overperform, you get more money, and you get paid no matter what, your risk appetite, drops. And the risk appetite should be high for you to start a business. So that is the only, I would say, downside I see in this. So if you can really draw the line and say, hey, I'm just going to work 1 year, that's pretty much it, and have the discipline to then go towards your own thing, I think that's perfect. Because if not, once you fall into that kind of path, it's really hard to get out of it because it's comfortable, and then it's really hard to get out of that comfortable zone.
So next, tell us a little bit more about Code 94 Labs. You told us how it came about, how you sort of got together with an old student of Mr. Terran and another colleague of yours from Interact. Tell us where you started, how you got to the place where you are now, and what your future plans are, and how you sort of project yourself to where you want to go. I believe you have massive goals, but let us in.
Sure. All right, where should I start? I think, first of all, the name Code 94 Labs, right? So when I say, when I ask the question of what do you think Code 94 Labs means? People think that I was born in 1994, right? Completely wrong. I'm not even a 90s kid to start with. So 94 is actually the Sri Lankan country code, right? So exactly, plus 94. The whole goal for me was from the starting days or from the beginning is to build a business that represents Sri Lankan talent on a global context, right? Because I believed during COVID, it showed that where you are based doesn't matter. If you can work remotely and kind of build something digitally, you can approach the globe rather than just the local that you're currently, right? So that is how I kind of, let's say, that my thinking was for the name. I just want to mention that. So the start. So as I mentioned, we got together with 3 members. All of them were part-time. They were students, and I was also part-time. How I build the business is, as soon as I wake up, I did something. When I was going in the bus to work, I worked on the business. Even when I was sorry. To that,
bosses listening.
Exactly, sorry. I mean, they know they are pretty happy about what I do right now. But even during work, I started to creep in some work during lunch hours. Even when I was back from work to home in train, I worked. Before I slept, I worked. So I was building that business part-time, but as much I clocked in more hours than I clocked in for the internship just to build this business, right? So, because the thing is, we didn't know anything. And we don't know what we don't know, again, as I mentioned. We had to make new mistakes to understand what actually needs to be done. And also we need to build trust because we are a totally brand new company. So we need to build trust within the the corporate scene to attract customers. So the first 6 months of the business, how it essentially kicked off is, as I mentioned, I started founder-led marketing. I talked about, I didn't promote the business. I talked about the human side of the business. I talk about how hard it is to start the business, what is the process. I broke down everything that I do. I spoke about what are the mistakes, what are the good things that I'm doing. I spoke more about what I do. So while doing that, people who have been associated with, interacted with, so okay, this guy is starting something, should help out. And the first set of people, for the first 6 months, as I said, most of my customers are from, as I said, Interact. So me starting Interact was a very pivotal moment in my life that helped me break my barrier in public speaking. It helped me in public speaking. It helped me in speaking English confidently. And it built a really good network for me, right? So through that network, I was able to capitalize on that. And like the first 6 months of the business, most of my partners and customers are either directly from Interact or the kind of connections that I made through Interact. So I think that is where the start was. It was tough. I mean, we didn't know anything that we did. I'm sorry for the customers who trusted us in the beginning, because we tried our best to do something really good. But I mean, compared to what we do now, it was like really bad work that we did back in the day. But people were ready to give a shot with a young person who's starting out. I mean, that is what's very important. With that, I want to mention something before I move forward, is that a lot of youngsters, like I mean, listeners of this podcast as well, one of the things that they keep them from starting is that they think if you're young, people wouldn't trust you. People wouldn't take you seriously. That's very wrong. Because number one, is companies who are truly forward thinking, they want to work with youngsters because they want to be relevant not now but relevant in 10 years. Very true. They like fresh ideas. I mean, I closed customers like Hemas and different like corporates that I can't name right now when I was 21. Why do you think a corporate giant trusts like a 21-year-old kid, right? So because they trust that, okay, so they want to be relevant, not now, they want to be relevant for the future. They want fresh ideas in the table. So trust me, even though you're young, the right person will trust you and kind of give you work. So I would say go for it, right? I think, and that is a norm that I don't believe personally because I experienced it, right? So coming back into kind of the point, right? The kind of the story. So 5 months went by. I had to make a call. Okay, should I continue corporate or should I continue startup? Took the leap of faith, gave my resignation, and went full on business. And mind, by this time, even by this time, I in the sense, I didn't had a fallback from my parents. I was living in their house, but anything that I want to do, I had to earn my way. Because as I said, coming from a very humble family, I did not had access to capital or access to anything from my end, right? So it's a totally different ball game. If I want to do something, if I want to go out with friends, even if I'm 19 or 20, I had to earn my way through that. So like, you know, as soon as I come out of the internship again, my promised income is gone, right? So I had to work my way through. And the CEO, the founder gets paid last, right? So I think the team back in the day, the founding team was really helpful. They would even work if I didn't pay them, but fortunately I was able to pay them even small amounts from the start itself. And they stick through. I mean, while even doing the university or like, you know, while they were sometimes schooling, they still clock in hours, still ensure that we kind of deliver to our customers. I think that base foundation that we laid out with that founding team really helped us kind of, you know, take it from there. And when that was going on, I mean, like even though I learned about coding technology and all that, I'm not a great coder. And I figured out very early on that that is not my skill set and that is not what I want to do. Yeah, like right now I'm running a technology company without knowing how to code, right? So it's very important to understand what you're good at and what you're not good at, and you focus on what you're good at and delegate the rest. So during that period, we knew, okay, what are the services that we want to offer, but we did not have all the resources internally to cater to these different offerings. And when there's a new inquiry that comes through for a service that did not exist, what we would say is, we go say, yes, we can do it. And we figure it out, right? And we find people who could execute that. I think that is kind of how the early days were. And then we slowly figure out, you know, what we should do, what our, you know, our strengths are, hire the people for the things that I don't enjoy doing, and then kind of delegate it to them. But it was hard work. I mean, we were clocking in 20 hours, sometimes 16 hours, working throughout the crisis and all that. But, you know, end of the day, we were able to kind of build a really strong foundation, because I figured out early on when I was building when I was doing my internship, that remote work is possible because we started during COVID, right? So from day one itself, our company is fully remote. Even still, it's fully remote after 4-5 years. And from the very early stage, we built the foundation towards a remote first culture, and that helped us hire people around the country. So currently what I say is from Jaffna to Mathura we have people. So Jaffna, Mathura, Gold Candy, you name it, we have people across the country because of that. So we were able to get access to the best talent, and we slowly bootstrapped our way through this journey. I think there's a lot of challenges that we faced. We were mostly in Sri Lankan, and then we expanded to global context. So that is like the end of it, but the beginning, I think that is how things started, I would say.
And came about. Yeah. Very interesting story, and I think there's a lot for our viewers to learn from this as well. Coming next into it, Nevan, how important is having mentors to you? Having these inspirational figures, as you mentioned, your IT sir himself, Mr. Teran, and then you had Bhanuka, who was another inspiration for you. And I believe throughout your journey, there might have been many more mentors to you. How important is it to sort of have someone like that? And if you could explain to our viewers who are listening today, how you could approach someone and have that mentorship towards you and like get that help. How would you approach, and how did you approach in that case, and how could they get that benefit?
I think two questions, like number one is how important mentors are, number two is how to find mentors. Yes. So the importance of mentors, I would say it depends, but finding the right mentor is very important, but also the mentor can change based on the
path that you're looking at.
Yeah, the timeline that you are at in your journey. The mentors that you need in the start, the mentors that you want in your scaling, different type of mentors that you need, right? So it doesn't mean that, okay, you work with one mentor throughout. There are people who do that, and that's helpful for sure. Like, people who have started from scratch and done what you want to do, right? The first thing that I would say is, first of all, the mentor you choose is very important, because the mentor's decisions can influence how you make your calls during different time periods, and the decisions that you make will define your journey, right?
It's very important.
Exactly. So that influence is very, there's a massive influence, so you need to really be careful of who you first of all choose as your mentors. What I say is, I don't get mentorship from people who have not done what I want to do. Like, if I want to build $1 billion company, I would speak to someone who has built $1 billion company, not someone who has built $100 million. It's completely two different segments. So first of all, choose the right mentor. It's very important, and see if they're coming for the right reasons also. So anyways, coming back to the point of the mentors that I had, right? I think, again, as I said, when I was laying the foundation of how I should navigate my studies, whether should I, navigate, like whether should I double down on my passion, that is when Mr. Ran was helpful, right? So he has not built, he has technically built a business, but he has not technically built a business. So, so he was helpful in that time period when I was figuring my, shit out. Yeah. And then when I was starting business, that is when kind of Bhanuka kind of helped out to kind of figure things out. I was not personally interacting with him, but looking at, because again, as I said, founder, he was very open when it comes to his marketing. So he talked about the bad and the good, right? And that's the same principle that I follow still to date. So through that, I learned a lot, and eventually I got connected with him, and then he helped me in a few areas. But likewise, I think based on the problem that you're facing, based on the place that you're in your life, it's important to have mentors who can help throughout, and it's very important, I would say. Coming to the second one, which you mentioned, how to find mentors. First of all, forget mentors, start networking. Like, you can find mentors, that is the second part, right? And if you take a funnel, you can find the mentor, but the first thing is you learn how to network, which is, I would say, if you are a founder, the main skill that you need, networking. Like, I give networking most of the credits of what I've done so far to networking, right? So how to start networking, right? First of all, you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You need to put yourself out there. So during that time period of me starting the business, something that I did was find events as much as possible and went and attend to them. It can be not even related. Like sometimes, even before I registered the business, I went to corporate finance event, like people teaching corporate finance. I went to marketing management. I went to even a event that talked about etiquette, the corporate etiquette, right? I have not even started there. Exactly. It doesn't matter. So going to these events get you connected with others. You can see who is active within the industry, corporate, it can be startups, business, anything. You can see the people actively contributing, who are active there, who are willing to help, and kind of see who is out there. Because if you don't get yourself outside the comfort zone, you don't see the people who actually have done the things that you want to do. That is, I would say, the first step, be comfortable with getting uncomfortable and go out there. And networking is a pretty interesting thing, because these people that you want to network with meet hundreds of people every day. Why would they choose you to work with? Why would they put their time on you? So you need to ask that question first. So you need to figure out a way to be different from the other hundreds of people who is reaching out to them. My trick that I always tell people is, I ask the most different kind of questions as much as possible, so that they remember me by the person who asked the most weird question. Right?
Could you give us an example?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the first question that I usually go and ask is random person. I would say, hey, nice to meet you. I mean, if I was a conference, I would say, hey, really loved you or this thing. The question I ask is, what is a problem that you're currently passionate about solving? I mean, not everyone asks that question.
That's true.
So it can be different. Some would say, I really want to do this. My business is doing this. It has this problem. I want to solve this. Some would say, I just had my first daughter. I'm trying to figure out how life with a daughter and with a business, right? It can be anything. I try to remember that, right? Remember that small detail that they mentioned. Build up a conversation afterwards. Ask interesting questions. And when I want to go again and meet with him to refresh his mind, I start with the answer that he gave to the first question. So if he mentioned about, okay, he's a daughter, I would go and say, hey, how is your daughter doing? Did you figure out your, shit through, balancing, being a new father versus company? So he will then figure out, okay, he will unconsciously know that I know him, and then we'll feel a little bit more close. Right?
And that you care about what he spoke of.
Exactly. So you build that network and that connection first. That is very important, right? And then people are selfish beings, to be honest, right? Everyone is. They like to talk about them. They like to focus on them. So in the initial stages of making a network, make it more about them, ask more questions about them. Don't try to pitch yourself, hey, I do this, can you help me? Don't do that. First of all, make them the priority, make them the prize, and kind of, try to gain as much as knowledge from their end. And when you are the person who asks the interesting questions and make them think, then they get interested about you and they try to remember you. They will remember you, right? Because if you're the person who go and ask, and hey, how to get more clients, how to go to international, that's a question that everyone asks, right? Try to be different.
It's about standing out from that crowd.
Exactly. And then only they will feel okay, it's worth my time, right? And he is doing something different. I think that is how you should network your way through, first of all. So I think that is how you get known, that you get seen. And then when you talk to them, you understand, okay, what is his journey? Is it somewhat relatable to me? Is his kind of how he has navigated through business is interesting to me and very important, aligned with my values.
That's true.
If you find a mentor who does not align with your values, then the decisions that he might influence you on will get you to go out of your values. And that can be very catastrophic. So it's very important to, when you're getting to know them, understand their values and understand if the journey that they have taken is a journey that aligns with you and the destination that they have reached is where you want to be. So you understand these 3 points, And then mentorships doesn't happen when you go and ask for mentorships. You go and ask questions that will help you. That's pretty much it. Like, no, none of my mentors that I work with, I go to them and say, hey, can you give me a mentorship? Like, that's not the way that you go. You go and ask interesting questions that get them to think, and be an interesting person for them to answer to. And then that's how it goes to. I think mentorships, number one, then to answer the question, mentorships very important to have throughout your life, but choose different ones for different in your timeline. And the next thing is be good at finding the right mentor.
Very interesting strategy, going in with weird questions. I think this is something that even we should try doing. And again, if this becomes the norm, change your strategy, okay? Because you can't, all of us can't just ask weird questions and it'll become a whole weird fest. So choose wisely, know what you're doing, and get your network solid. So talking about all that, Neman, I'd like to come into a phase about your personality, how you built yourself. So I'd like to know, what sort of principles do you live by? And do you have this mentality of, I should wake up at this hour, you should do this, and then I'm gonna schedule 10 meetings together, and I'm gonna be on social media only for this amount of time, and you're restricting yourself? Do you believe in the sort of hustle culture, as we all know? Or are you someone who's sticking to your gut and working your way through?
Starting with the last question, it's a mix. Yeah. So hustle culture, yes, but a structured hustle culture, no. So I'm not a person who like say, hey, wake up at 5 p.m, journal for 5 minutes, meditate for 10 minutes, go to the gym. I don't have a structure like that. I take the day as it flows. But I have goals. Like, I write down kind of what I want to achieve within the day. I try to utilize a notebook rather than having a digital version of it. When I write down, it kind of sticks to me. That is kind of how I would say I would approach the day. But going into the first question, principles.
I think I confused you a little bit. Apologies.
No worries. Principles. Okay. One thing that I believe is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Right? So if, when I essentially, as I said, network partners is how I build my business. So it's very important that I look into how people make decisions, what they do, why they have made such decisions. So I try to understand that and then build their personality profile of me through those decisions that they have taken. So it's very important. Can't say the word judge, but I judge you through the decisions that you take, right? So how you do one thing is how you do everything is one thing, I believe. Something that is controversial, but something that I believe from day one, even before I started business, was knowledge is not the power. Execution is power. Knowledge is good to have, but knowing something doesn't take you anywhere. Executing it, even though you don't know 50% of it, will take you far ahead than someone who just had the knowledge. So taking action is very important. So I like people, even though they don't have the shit figured out, they would take action. Okay? Those are the type of people that I like to associate, and I believe that is the type of person that I am. I think those are two important. And the other one is, if you want to think out of the box, learn out of the box.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. So that's why I said, I didn't like everything that was done conventional from the very early stage. That falls for education as well. I was not a fan of how the structured education was in Sri Lanka. So that is why when the opportunity opened to learn more things globally through Coursera, I didn't limit myself, okay, this is the only pathway that I'm going to take. I'm going to try many things, choose one to double down on, but me doing many things gave me a small skill set from different areas. Because if you want to be relevant right now in the job market or even in the industry, corporate, anything, knowing one skill won't get you anywhere. You need to have multiple skills. It's like, T-based learning, you call it like T. So you need to have a broader, a high-level expertise on different skills, pick one and then go deep on that, right? So you're expert in one, but you have knowledge across these other type of skills that you need, right? So it's very important that to do that. I think those are some three that I would really live by. So how you do one thing is, how you do everything. If you want to think out of the box, learn out of the box. Even I forgot the third one now. But anyways, yeah, those are I would say.
Third one, I believe, was not to become like a one-trick pony.
Yeah, essentially. So I would say those are the three that I would say kind of principles that I try to live by, or I look for other people, look in other people.
It's all very interesting how you take things in, how you analyze things, and how you essentially judge people in a good sense to sort of make your life better and take those in. And I believe being humble and being able to learn from other people is very important. What's your take on it? How humble should a person be? How how should you see it as?
This is a totally, I would say a huge topic to address, because being humble, yes, you need to be humble. Like, I mean, taking from a personal example, 2023, I was then 2023, then I was 22. I was earning more than any 22-year-old that I know. And I became a little bit of a prick, I would say, right? So I was not humble during that time. And 2024, I can't call it worse, because I like the year because it gave me a lot of, I made a lot of mistakes that gave me a lot of learnings. I won't call it worst. But if you take on a financial and other perspective, 2024 was the year that humbled me, right? So no matter what you do, what you have achieved, being humble and approaching everything in a humble way, it's very important. Because if you're not humble, the life would slap the shit out of you, right? But also in business, you need to be a little bit of arrogant. You cannot be the person who would say, okay, yes, okay, like if someone says no, okay, I understand, okay, that's fine, we'll go to the next opportunity. No. You also have to be a little bit of, an asshole when you're in business.
Basically, you need to drawing the line.
Exactly. You need to, in the sense, you need to fight for what you want also. Like when a customer or when I pitch, when someone comes and say no, I wouldn't take that for an answer. I sometimes try to be an asshole and try to find my way of why they said no, and then approach it. Like I even posted a TikTok recently about like a story that how I closed like one of the biggest corporates here. They came to us and say no. I asked what was the decisions. I tried to make internal decisions through network that I built, and try to somehow got them to say yes, and we are currently even working with them, right? It's a massive deal that we are working with. So sometimes you need to be that you need to be a little bit of arrogant in order to be competitive in business. But end of the day, you need to be humble. Even though you are this whole businessman at outside, you need to be the son, the brother, at home. So I think those are very important. I mean, even though I said it, I'm not perfect at it. Even I'm still learning. But I think that humbleness needs to come, and then that is something that I learned from my mother. Like she's very humble, and then she showed me why being humble is very important, and also life showed me why being humble is very important.
So I have an interesting question, and maybe a weird one, because we're talking about weird questions all day. If you were given a chance to go back to an age in the past that you would pick, what age would you pick, and what sort of advice you would give to that younger self?
I wouldn't go much further down the line. Even I would just go 2 years back, like 1.5 years back. Because like my life progressed really fast. A lot of things happened really fast. So I believe even the 4 years that I started the business, I feel like I did 10 years. Like even though I say like I'm 23, 24 now, I live the life of a 30-year-old, right? So just 2 years ago, something very interesting happened. This is a personal story, but I feel like I think would sometimes be relatable to the Sri Lankan kind of, context and audience. So as I said, I'm coming from a very humble family. Like my father was mostly living outside of the country. And during, I think around 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago, he came back to Sri Lanka. And I wouldn't say our family situation was the most friendliest. It was not the most healthiest. And that led to a lot of different problems. And me, when I really need to be on my best self when I'm building my business, I couldn't keep my peace within my mind to kind of, properly focus on the business. It was a really tough period. Eventually led me to take the risk of moving out of my parents at 1 month before my 22nd birthday, right? So yeah, I think that is something that is not many, I hope they don't get to go through it, because I took the leap of faith without knowing whether I can afford the next month's rent, whether I could, pay for my bills. But I took my mom and then I moved out of parents. And I became the breadwinner of a family even before I turned 22, right? So that is a very kind of a dark period of my life. But right now, like, doing that was the best thing that happened, right? So I took a bigger risk, and now I don't have any net to fall under. I either have to do it or die, right? So when you are in a situation like that, when you are in the situation, you don't feel the glory, you really feel down. But when you come out of it, you feel like that was the best thing that happened. So if I'm going back to that period of me, like 1 month before I moved out, thinking like, under a lot of pressure, thinking, can I do it? Can I take care of my mother? Can I pay rent? Can I, bring food to the table at 21? I think I just wanted to say that, you got this, just keep going, right? You'll figure it out. My sister helped a lot during that period, for like 100% for sure. But it was mostly that I had to take care of that situation. Because my sister was in Dubai back at that time, like she's living there. I'm in Sri Lanka, so I was facing the situation. So I would say those bad things that happen to you that you think are really negative during that period, that you can't come out of that period, that is the time period that you will grow the most, that you will always come back and say, I'm thankful I had that opportunity to go through that kind of an experience. So it's very important that we do that. And I would say, like as I said, I would say just, hold on, keep going. And I would say that is one of the darkest period of my life, but that is also the time period that helped me grow the fastest.
And mature.
Mature a lot, exactly. Because being mature is not how long you lived, it's about how much of experiences that you have, gone through
throughout your life.
And how much shit you have gone through.
Definitely. It's an interesting point, and I think a lot of people must be going through something or the other, even as of right now.
That's why I said,
they're watching the videos.
Exactly, because that's why I said, like even in my company itself, I have 4 more team members who have similar stories. That's very common in Sri Lanka, because like our marriage situation in terms of families are not the most healthiest most of the time. So it's very important that you stay out of that and try to take action against that, like out of it. Don't try to interfere, but try to get yourself out of those situations and then deal with it separately.
I think anyone who's going through something like this, and you could have your own relationship problems, your family problems, your problems at work, here's your inspiration.
Just one more thing that I think what I can add is, when you're going through that, to feel better, think about how you would tell the story of what you are going through in that situation when you're out of it. Whenever I am going through something dark, when I'm going through something down, my first thought that usually comes to my mind is, okay, how would I talk about this situation in 2 years when I'm out of this situation? That gives you a little bit sense of kind of pride and joy, saying, first of all, you trick your mind, okay, you are now out of that situation, and looking it in the like a separate perspective. And you feel good because that story is going to make someone motivate and someone inspire. So that is a little bit of a trick to your mind.
So that helps you navigate yourself.
Exactly. So look at things in a different way.
Very interesting. Final, but there's a lot more to talk about, but then again, we have a set time to stick to. But something that I wanted to give to the viewers, one final thing that I want to ask is, if somebody wants to start a business today, right now, what is your advice that you give them, and what sort of changes do they have to make within themselves For an example, I'm a believer of having self-discipline.
Yeah.
I'm working to my way towards it.
Yeah.
Things like that. How would you advise someone who's starting out today?
So the answer that I give when someone asks this question is don't. And when I say don't, why? People start business because they think that they can earn a lot of money. Trust me, you're not going to make shit in your first couple of years. You are getting paid the last. Any mistake your team member does, you are responsible. It's not only no longer your actions. It's if you employ 30 people, 30 people's actions are yours. And same, if you have 30 people, 30 people's financial, their responsibilities, like their family essentially depends on you, because they might not be able to put food on the table if you don't get your shit right. You have the highest risk. You have all the legal burden. So when all of these reasons exist, why the fuck would someone start a business, right?
It's not what I expected.
Exactly.
But continue.
Exactly. That is the answer that I always give. And the caveat is this. Even after I mentioned this, if someone now got even more motivated to start the business, that's the only person who would survive in business.
It's very true.
Right. So, like, if you always think about, I mean, in business, other thing is if you try to learn about business, if you try to think, okay, you know, like plan everything in business and then go for business, trust me, you will have more reasons not to start than start. So in business, the first thing is, if you try to plan it a lot, if you try to do the risk analysis of things a lot, then you will find more, let's say, reasons not to do it. So it's a matter of going head first sometimes, like, and prioritizing execution. But I think, like, you know, coming out of that conversation, but I think one thing to do is, if you're starting a business, something that I always say is break the boat, right? What I mean is, business will demand a lot from you. The break the boat story is that, like, you know, let's say there's someone who has a boat, goes to island, he wants to survive there. He wants to start a, let's say, start his life in a new island where no one is there. He has a boat. He goes in the boat, he starts his life in this new island where no one is there, resources are limited, and try to survive. And when things get hard, he always know in the back of his mind that I have this boat, I can go back to land, right? So if things are bad, they would, you know, just use that and go back to the land. And if you go to your island, break that boat, now you don't have anything to fall under. There's no second option B. There's no second choice that you
fall back.
There's nothing to fall back. It's either you make it work or not, right?
Either you swim or you drown.
Exactly. So you have to make it work. When you trick your mind to that, when you break the boards, when you break option B, that's why I don't focus on option B. I don't make plan Bs. Plan A, that's it. You make it work. That's it, right? So if you break the boards, like, you know, like what I essentially mean is, if you're in corporate and if you're starting a business, don't try to balance both.
Yeah.
It's really tough. Business demands a lot from you. And when you have that easy, comfortable option, you wouldn't put 100% of you into the business. You cannot, because you understand there's this comfortable option that you have. So if you break the boat, you will put 100% of the business, and then you will have some chance of winning in business. I can't say yes, you will 100% win. You'll have some chance to win the business.
But it's your risk to take.
Exactly. Don't take my advice. But you do you. I think that's what matters.
Be smart about it. Assess your risks and take the biggest leap you could to go where you want to
100%. Since you mentioned about the risk, I think the people who have the least amount of risk are people in our age. Like, I'm 23, and do we have a family to maintain? Do we have a wife, kids? Do we have like vehicles to maintain? No. So we are not tied to many things, at least, right? So our risk appetite is high. So I always believe when you should start something is when you're young, because your risk appetite is high. There's not a lot of risk around you. And there is an advantage, like starting young is the biggest advantage even I had. yeah, that's important to focus on that also.
So, really interesting stories that we've learned today, and what an inspiring man is Nevan. So, being, I think, schoolmates from 2018, 2019, and now seeing him in this place is quite a remarkable option. And I'm glad you accepted our invitation today for GEPic Journeys and came in and shared these amazing stories and inspirations to our whole audience. I believe every one of you that were listening into this whole podcast gained a lot of insights, maybe reflected on themselves as well a lot. And if you did, make sure you subscribe to our channel, because this is how we will be able to grow and bring you more and more content like this. And you're the people that we are looking at and looking forward to bring this content to. So please do so. And as I mentioned, thank you so much for joining in, Evan, and thank you, viewers, for taking your time and taking in your advice. Anything before we go that you want to mention to our audience to sort of maybe motivate them or to get them inspired?
I mean, throughout the podcast or our conversation, there were a lot of things that we discussed. But something that I noticed is that a lot of people just listen to advice, but they don't try to implement and see what would happen, where it would take you. So if you learned anything, as I said, execution is what matters. So go execute, go take the risk, and it will be rewarding.
There you go. By the man himself. Catch you on the next one. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next week.